Hello, YouTube family. The first part of the holidays are over. Now we're back to our schedule, back to, where is this girl going? Okay, we're going to put it right here. Back to our regular schedules, back to a little bit of normalcy. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture. Let's get this hug, and I missed you guys. I couldn't wait to get back to work. Now, I know I'm a workaholic, but it's the normalcy because at home, there's always 1,000 things to do. And for my holiday, there was a lot of cooking and getting the house ready, for the holidays. Yes, my tree and all that other stuff is already up. And then I have a lawn. And so they got to winterize everything and get rid of all the other stuff. It was a lot. I was like, I want to go back to work. I slid in the studio last night and couldn't wait to play my Tims and OJs and holiday music. And now we are back here and all my little things are falling apart. How you guys doing? It's not cute not knowing. Come on, I missed you. I did. Okay, enough hugs. It's not cute not knowing. Now we're going to know. Wendy Williams' family is disputing what The Guardian has said. Last week, The Guardian said that she was totally incapacitated between the aphasia, between the Alzheimer's, that early onset, alcohol-induced. But this is the thing. Wendy's family is disputing it, right? Well, they're not doing anything to show how come she can't make a statement on her own. How come she is not talk? Wendy's never been quiet. She's going to let you know what's going on. But this is indeed happening. Will the family show that she can speak? Will the family show otherwise? Or just put out blanket statements? There's autobiography and documentary on Madonna coming out, and it's saying it's going to reveal her deepest secrets. Undoubtedly one of the biggest pop stars of the 80s. They say this documentary is going to be filled with sex, ambition, death, drugs, and facelifts. Y'all know in the past few years she has undergone way too many facelifts, and where she just looks different. Her face is finally beginning to unpuff, but too many facelifts were happening. The CBS talk show The Talk is ending on the 20th, and now reports are coming out that during the ups and downs and varied hosts, they're saying that Cheryl Underwood was the problem the whole time on The Talk, creating a toxic work environment. This year, especially around like election time, I have gotten to know Cheryl Underwood. I know some people can take her, some people can't. But I think these stories are coming out to prevent her from getting another talk show. They said between getting Sharon Osbourne kicked off, clashing with the other guest, Cheryl Underwood, they say, was the problem with the toxic work environment and things on the set, driving everyone from the co-hosts to the producers of the show crazy, and they are glad that the end is coming. The final episode of The Talk is coming December 20th. It's going to make way for, I guess, the first time in 25 years, African-American soap opera, The Gates, which is going to debut in February. I got scoop on what's happening for Super Bowl Sunday. It's Sunday, February 9th. We already know Kendrick Lamar is performing at halftime. We still don't know some of the other musical pieces surrounding him with that halftime show, but we know what's going to happen before. Singer Lettucey is going to be singing Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. Trombone Shorty, a New Orleans native, he's going to be doing America the Beautiful. John Baptiste, a couple years ago, he was a huge Grammy winner. He's going to be doing the national anthem. So they are leaning on a New Orleans-based artist for this entertainment. We're just waiting to see who else is performing with Kendrick Lamar. But Super Bowl Sunday is set for February the 9th, and it's going to air on Fox. Eddie Murphy's son, Martin Lawrence's daughter, they're engaged. Lawrence Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine, Eddie Murphy's son, Eric. They got engaged. Beautiful photos. But who's going to pay for the wedding? Because the two, when they were doing their promotional thing, they kept saying, he paying for it. No, he paying for it. No, he paying for it. I think Eddie Murphy has the most money. But it's the groom, it's the bride's family who's supposed to pick up the bill. Maybe they'll just split it down the middle, but the two families are going to be joining as one. Nick Cannon has admitted that he has a mental health problem, and he says, I need help. Nick Cannon recently underwent a mental health diagnostic test. He has narcissistic personality disorder. He is the father of 12 kids, and this is also on top of his ADHD and dyslexia. Nick got a lot going on. Have you ever dealt with a person who's a narcissist? What's a narcissist? A person where everything is supposed to revolve around them, and that's what they think. And they make it so everything revolves around them. They have a habit of making you feel bad. If they're upset, they will never admit that they're wrong in anything. But Nick Cannon says that he has this. Do you think this is why he has so many kids? You know, I've often said, okay, you're bragging. I got the money to take care of these kids. But what about the time? Because we all know at the end of the day, your kids need your time. Bishop T.D. Jakes says he's going to be resting over the holiday season. He admitted he had minor surgery. They're still being secretive. What they do, put a stent in his heart, because he was quick to say, I had a stroke, or the thing that comes up. I never know what it is, and you guys tease the hell out of me. It's the T something. But it's the thing that a lot of stroke victims, get as like a warning. He won't say what it is, but he's going to be resting. Bishop Jakes is under a lot of stress. The congregation is getting smaller at the Potter's house, and then there's that fellow pastor suing him for sexual harassment. Sir Elton John, he has seen better days, and we're going to see the extent of it in a new documentary that's going to air December 13th on Disney+. Elton John, undoubtedly one of the greatest pop stars ever. I know some of the greatest shows I've ever seen. Elton John ranks up there. Elton John recently admitted that he is losing his eyesight. He developed an infection earlier this year in his right eye that has caused him to lose his sight. And he says that his left eye was never good anyway. He says he can't see, read, or watch TV. He leans on his husband a lot. And I think he says, I just want to be able to live to see my sons, get married, get older. He's 77. And this is not the best of time. He's overseeing the London production of The Devil Wears Prada, where Vanessa Williams is starring. Can't wait till they come to the States. But this is a rough time for him, because for him to admit that there'll be no more touring for an Elton John, no matter what happens. The documentary is going to air on Disney Plus on December 13th. We certainly hope that he gets better soon. Beyoncé, get ready for the Cowboy Carter art book. What's that? It's 136 pages of artwork just from Cowboy Carter. Christmas Day, the Texans take on the Ravens. Netflix, their foray into the NFL. And halftime, Beyoncé is performing songs from Cowboy Carter. Ashanti is pregnant. At 44, baby number 2. I know it was quick. She just had a baby. She's pregnant, baby number 2. Her and her husband, Nelly. I think she's being extra quiet because at her age, you're just monitored more with your pregnancy. So I think she's just waiting safe, and bam, she's going to be like, we just had another baby. But Ashanti is pregnant again. Next year, 2025, in our only one Diddy report per week, he's gearing up for his defense. And they say he is lining up male sex workers who participated in the freak-offs to testify against Cassie, where they're saying she was a willing participant in the freak-offs and she was not forced or anything. She was down with it. And the male escorts are supposed to get on stand and testify against her. Cassie has claimed she was sex trafficked. These are things she did not want to do, but what she did it under duress. So this is going to be interesting. This he said, she said, but Cassie is going to come under some fire for her participation in these activities. Actor Wayne Northrop. If you grew up in an era where your mama had Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless on, then you knew who this was. Wayne Northrop was an actor on Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. He was on Dynasty for a minute, but many people know him as the first Roman Brady on Days of Our Lives. He passed away at the age of 77 from early onset Alzheimer's, which he had been battling for the past 6 years. He was in a lot of movies and just one of these soap opera people. I don't know what it is between Days of Our Lives and General Hospital. They are dropping like flies. The number of actors who have appeared on both of these shows, and they're just dying, and Wayne Northrop is the latest. It was a huge, huge box office weekend. Moana 2 taking in $221 million. You know, when the first one came out, didn't take in not that much. It took in a lot, $82 million in 2016, but Moana was number one. Wicked still going strong, $118 million in Gladiator 4, Gladiator 2, $44 million, but all movies are still going strong. There's a new trend, and I'd love to get your take on this. Singing in the movie theaters. Some people are singing during Wicked. A lot of people can't stand it. Your thoughts. If you've seen it, did you witness singing in the theaters? When I went to see Wicked, there was nobody singing. That picture was long. We were all saying, who keep shifting their kid in the chairs? And if you take kids, I'm warning you now, they're going to hit you with, I got to go to the bathroom. My niece kept doing this. There's also a new trend, and I don't know what movie theaters, because they're looking to see if you're bringing food in, you're sneaking food in. People are filming scenes. People are filming themselves at the movies. Too much goes on social media. They're filming themselves. They're filming scenes from the movie, and they're putting it on social media. There must be some really lax theater operators, because every time I go to the movies, they be looking at me. One time I remember pulling out my phone just to cut it off. You got to put your phone away. You got to put your phone away. So I don't know what movie theaters they're at where they don't bother them. I do a podcast on a final note, Patty and the Millennials. I'm a baby boomer, but there's great conversation between millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, men and women. And as we get ready to say hello to 2025, we look at the trends of 2024. People are not drinking as much, which really surprised me. People are not drinking as much. Here's my question to you. Do you think it's because the young people, the Gen Zs, they can't afford these drinks? You go to some places, they hit you up, even for a bottle of beer. Now, I don't drink, but I be knowing these prices. Do you think it's because, you think of Sober January, mindful drinking, like these things stood out. Another thing, a trend, and people are talking about it, are winter penises. Auntie, what you talking about? This is when, I read a lot. That's why I know this stuff. All right, it's cold. It's definitely cold in the Northeast. Where the penis shrivels up and really goes inside. And it will only come out, when it gets warmed up. It's like that Criss Cross song. Warm it up, Chris. Y'all remember Criss Cross. Remember they had that song, Warm It Up, Chris? I used to love Criss Cross. Well, it stops being hidden. The winter penis stops being hidden when it warms up. But this is something they say that people are finally talking about. I did not know this existed either until I read about it. And I said, well, I'm going to pass this information on to you guys. You can find my podcast where podcasts live. iHeartRadio Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Pandora. It is great conversation. Patty and Millennials. When that notification bell comes on, you know that I'm here and we're back. Leave a comment because I asked a ton of questions. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you never, ever, ever miss a thing. It's not cute not knowing, and now we know even about the winter penises. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture.